discuss the capital road project study, Roadbotics.
So I was talking before, Dawn approached me about putting together a comprehensive road plan for the township. And one of the impediments to doing a good evaluation of your roads is you need to get out, you need to walk the roads, you need to see where the issues are and evaluate them. There's a number of different ways to do that, but technology has advanced to the point now where there's actually a company I was describing before, a spin-off of Carnegie Mellon, called Roadbotics. And what they do is they use smartphones and artificial intelligence to actually, they ride the roads, they take pictures, and then the computer software evaluates the pictures, comes back, rates your roads from 1 to 5 in terms of their condition. And they look at cracks, they look at everything that you can see from a picture, and they give you a good baseline evaluation. That can be put into the township's GIS system that everybody can see that. And then the way it was described to me made a lot of sense is in other countries around the world, people look at roads differently. Like in certain countries, they inspect the roads every day. If there's a problem, they fix it. Around here, it's usually about once a year we do it. We look at our roads once a year. So this software is very cost effective. They'll do per center line mile, $55 per center line mile. They'll drive the road, they take the pictures, they come back and give you the evaluation, and then you have access to those pictures. So it doesn't do the engineering work. What it does is it does the inspection so that like Bill in our office can look at those pictures with the rating and say, hey, does this make sense to take care of this road this year? And then you can begin to prioritize things. And then you have a baseline going forward into the future where, this road was let's say a 5 is the best and a 1 is the worst. Then you pave it, it becomes a 5, and then you look at it how it goes over time. But again, it would set it up for a program, a long-term program, like you said, Eric. Every 15 years, we'll be turning these roads over to doing something on them. And, as the scale of the township would have to look at what that cost. Is that 15 years? Is it 20 years?
Right.
To do it. And I think this would help. So for approximately 100 miles in the township, for around $5,500, you could have all of your roads totally inspected. I couldn't touch a job like that. Plus the fact that the nice thing about the software is it's not human. It's not a human being looking at it. So if Bill goes out and looks at a road and I go look at a road, it's different. Whereas the software is specific and it gives you a uniform evaluation of everything. So we've done it in 3 or 4 communities, and they're still in the infancy of this. So there can be some little pitfalls, like they did it in one community this fall, and the leaves caused a little bit of an issue, so they go back and do stuff. But they can be very great. If there's any issues, they go back and do it. I don't think they'd be able to get to this until the spring, but it would begin then build a plan for next year to do it. So if you can find the money in the budget after things come in to do it, I highly suggest it.
Well, this is another new business, so the only objective we're after is to have the numbers come back for the next month's meeting.
We would still have to look at the stormwater structures on that road. This program is not going to evaluate the stormwater structures. But that's still something that you should have to go out there.
This is the road surface, but
that's correct.
I think it may be one step closer to that 15, 20 year, and then we could start the process all over, or divide that number, and know that we have a $1 million budget each year to handle the roads. I guess so you could project every road in the township and say.
Best case scenario, you're 12, 15 years life cycle on a road.
Yeah.
I thought I heard 15 to 20 a couple months ago.
12 to 15, best case scenario on a road.
Okay. All right. Well, and then Dawn maybe shed light on the fact that what they have a professional do it would be closer to 90,000 or so.
But yeah, to have it done the normal way, the way we used to do it, which is walk the roads, take notes, evaluate, come back, transcribe everything from a piece of paper to a computer. That's what takes the time. So this is it's pretty amazing to me that, you know, it can be done that quickly. And I've seen the work, it's good stuff.
Very well. What's the pulse of the board? Would you like him to evaluate and bring back numbers for next month?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, yes? Huh?
Yeah, it's a formal, we have a formal proposal from them. I've talked to them, that they will commit to this price, for.
Can you provide it to us so that we have the opportunity to look
Yeah.
at it?
Sure, I'll get her to give a formal
I
proposal.
prefer not voting on something that
Yeah.
is new that we just
Yeah, no,
brought
we haven't
up.
had a chance to read it.
So let's review it and
Sounds
look at it.
amazing, but we don't know what the proposal.
Very
Yeah, I mean,
well.
they'll be glad to come on and even demonstrate it here to the board if you'd like to see it. I mean,
That might be neat.
whatever you'd like.
Would the
to
board like that?
Mhm.
Very well. Yeah, please, we'll check into that.
do. Okay.
Next, item of new business. You know, I had the thought and, would like the board's approval to just go ahead and set up a comprehensive plan meeting on February 26th and just start with our comprehensive plan. We'll just let it lay there, and I believe it's something that we have to do. So the thought was to do it February 26th, probably a 7 o'clock meeting.
You know, it's gonna take a couple of years to do that.
Yep, we're gonna start, it starts in one step, though. We sat at this for 2 years, so I'd just like to get it on the calendar.
What happened to the one that was done, that went to the planning commission and then going further? I mean, it has to be somewhere.
And could someone shed light on that, or what? We had one that was done 5 years ago, it was never accepted or going to be put in place. So that one may be tweaked, we might have to change some numbers on, South Point is completely different than 10 years ago. So just, we gotta start the first step, and I believe that is February 26th at 7 o'clock, and allow that board to decide how to proceed. Sound okay with the board? 1, 2, 3, thank you. So that, the public, please, if you're willing to come and show the comprehensive plan, if you're familiar with, will help give the board direction on what we want the township to look like in 10, 15, 20, 50 years. You know, what do we want it to look like? So that's where all the ideas will go.
Mr. Chairman, are you requesting to advertise a special meeting of this board to start looking at the comprehensive plan, or some other board?
You know what, we had some list of people that were willing to attend, but at this point, I would ask, please, that maybe just the supervisors attend. Let's allow that meeting to take place and see when they want to meet.
I think we need to advertise and let
Continue on.
people know that we're having it and allow new members. You know, there are people that expressed interest, but that was a significant amount of time ago.
Right.
So let people know, if you're interested, please come that day. I mean, we need to maybe
Right.
talk and come up with a process for how we're selecting members of our planning, or our comprehensive plan committee.
Correct. But the board will be made up of the residents, so it's what they want. If they have any challenging decisions that is drastically changing the township, that would have to go back to the planning commission, and they would vote on that and then send it on to us.
Well, right, that's the process. The
Correct.
comprehensive plan committee makes it, sends it to planning commission, which then comes to us, but there needs to be some sort of, I don't want to say policy, but way in which members of that comprehensive plan committee come together, because you don't want it to be a free-for-all.
Correct.
Or, you know, people showing up at the very end and demanding change when it's already been, you know, really far along in the process. So.
The thought was to hand it off and allow someone to chair it and for them to run with it. I could also visualize Senator Cameron Bartolotta has something that's called like the fireside chat. So it's done online and people can participate from their homes. So that may be something that we could tie into that meeting just to bring ideas.
I think that's a good way to bring idea, but I think first you have to come up with that core committee.
Correct.
First, you have to come up with a core group of people who would then host the online.
Gretchen, you?
Right, I was just going to echo those thoughts. If you want to have a special meeting for purposes of deciding who's going to be on a special committee for those purposes, you could then establish that committee and give that committee its charge. And then that committee can go on and do its information gathering, have public meetings and things like that. That's one approach.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, we're still under contract with the planning consultant. So you want to reach out to them for an invitation as well.
I mean, I think truthfully, the biggest problem, and I'll admit I made a mistake, I was an advocate for that company, they haven't done anything. And I understand that that person, the person who was initially working with us got very ill and passed away, but at the same time, we paid that company money in order to help us facilitate this process, and they haven't. And so I'm hesitant at this point to engage, I mean, maybe you can have our solicitor look at it and see if there's any way to get us out of the contract, because they aren't doing the job in which we hired them to do.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
There was preliminary work done initially.
right, but we never saw it. I mean,
No, you're correct.
But you also need somebody that does that. We had Roberta Schraff work with us the whole time.
yeah, she was great.
You know, I mean, you just can't, you're gonna have to have somebody very knowledgeable of all the zoning and everything else.
Right, any other comments from the board?
Yeah, Bruce, if you remember though, they kind of put it back on us, saying that we needed to form the committee, which never happened. So they said they're ready to move to, once we have a committee in place, they will come and start the process that they've already prepared for.
Correct.
So we can't leave them out completely, because we paid them and they did produce something, but it got to the point where now they need our committee. So they're suggesting a date. There's 3 or 4 people right off the bat that said they wanted to be on a committee. The suggestion was to try to get a few more to come to that meeting, but we need to get that committee established, and that company then can move in and kind of coordinate, or at least spearhead.
So even if it has 3 or 4 members, it's a way to place a start? And that committee could then solicit other people that might want to get involved as well, correct?
Yeah.
And if there was an effective chairman there, you could handle 20 people if they wanted and just keep it organized and peaceful.
Initially, the recommendation from the consultant was to utilize the planning commission and then have 4 additional individuals, one from the school district, one from the agricultural sector, and one from the business community, and 1 supervisor. So,
I think we've had this discussion before.
Yes.
I don't think we limit the number of supervisors that want to get involved in the
No, I
process,
agree.
because ultimately we have to vote on it at the
Sure.
end. I also don't think that we sit around waiting for more residents to participate. They either want to or they don't, and we can't force them. But, I'm a technology person, so I like Eric, Supervisor Cecilo's idea about allowing people to comment online, because they may be more willing than leaving their families. But I do think we need to do something.
So we're okay with that. 26, we'll have advertising to solicit more residents, maybe even ask for those other specific industries. Do we have a consensus? Yes? 1, 2, 3, 4. Old business.